So let us continue our topic, Indian rivers and water resources. Okay, now we will talk about the Himalayan rivers. So whenever we talk about the Himalayan rivers means it is talking about these three rivers which are Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. These are the Himalayan rivers. And this is also called perennial river because these rivers are continuously flowing throughout the year. So that is the reason it will also called perennial river. So how this river will get born in the Himalayan region, Himalayan mountain. So Himalayan mountain means not a stone mountain, okay? It is a ice mountain, okay? It's made up of ice, Himalayan region, and those ice will get melt. Those ice will get melt and become a glacier, okay? Ice water in the form of ice water. Then later it will become a water. So likewise, this river will be get formed. So let us read about those three rivers which is get formed from the Himalayan mountain, from the ice mountain. So the first is okay, we are having the Indus river. So if I could say about the Indus river, the Indus river somewhere around here, it will in the north region, okay, it will rise from here, from the north above the Jammu and Kashmir, okay. If you could see, so this river, how the river will get flow from Kailash to Tibet, then from the lake Mansarovar, then the direction of the river. This, as I said, this all river are rise from the north. Okay, all the rivers are rise and flow from the northern regions. Okay, so there no doubt about that. All the rivers flow from north direction. Okay, so if I talk about the Indus, it will flow from the north to northwest. Okay, north to northwest. As I said, all the river will get birth in this northern region, and this, if I talk about the Indus, it will go from the north to northwest, and it's also go from this country, Pakistan, India, China and Tibet. Then rest river we are having Ganga. If I talk about the Ganga glacier, okay, Ganga born from the glacier called Gangotri, okay. Gangotri, another name of Gangotri is Bhagirathi, okay. Another glacier is Satpura glaciers, okay. So Ganga is Ganga river get born from these two glaciers, okay. It will get rise from this two glacier will give a birth of Ganga, okay. And further about Ganga river, if I talk about the Ganga river, this river flow, of course, all the river, as I said before, from north, then the direction north to northeast, okay. Then we are having the next glacier, the next river, sorry, that is Himalayan river, third Himalayan river. The name is the Brahmaputra system, okay. So the in the name, this river having another naming Tibet is Tisang Po, okay. And what else? This the glacier from where the Brahmaputra river born, it is called Chamangdong glacier, okay. From this river Brahmaputra born, and from it will go flow from the Mansarovar, then it will form some naval area 640 for the ship and all those things, okay, and make fertile, and then it will pass through the Arunachal Pradesh, then Assam. Likewise, it will get flow again, it will go from the north to northeast. So if I could talk about this one Indus river, this Indus only one river flow from north to northwest. These two other Ganga and Brahmaputra, this will flow from the north to northeast. This will come in the answer. So this is the reason only I am saying this. From which location, which country location it is flowing, and from which direction it will flow. One answer, question is there, so I am saying this answer to you. So that much only you have to say. From this country, as I said, if I talk about the Indus, it will go from the Pakistan, India, China and Tibet. And if I talk about Ganga and Brahmaputra, it will go from the countries India and Bangladesh, okay. These two rivers flow from India, Bangladesh, and as I said, the direction, this Indus from north to northwest, and Ganga Brahmaputra from north to northeast. Very easy topic. I hope you understand. If you have any doubt, you can ask me, and you can give your feedback so I can improve my way of teaching. I'm just trying my best to explain in an easy way. And of course, these are the very easy lesson also. So just see you in the next slide. So let us continue our topic. So we are talking about the Indian rivers in our topic. So most of the people don't know how the river will get formed. And what are the rivers? Okay, what is the meaning of river actually? They think that ocean and rivers and all these things, all both are same bodies. Okay, they think like that. No, these are separate. Okay, you see rivers, we can say either it will get create from the, like I said, Himalayan mountain. Okay, it will get birth from the Himalayan mountain or through the peninsula rivers. We will talk about the peninsula river. What are the peninsula river? These rivers are peninsular river. If you could talk about this river, okay, like we have this Godavari, Krishna, Tungabhadra, Tapati on page number 62. All this peninsula river. And now we may need to talk what is the meaning of peninsula. Okay, peninsula means this river get formed through the rainfall. Okay, we get the rainfall. Through the rainfall, this river get birth. So, and those river Himalayan rivers, those river will get born through the mountain. Okay, through the glaciers. Okay, through the ice melt, and they will give the birth to the Himalayan rivers. And this peninsula river, they will get birth through the rainfall. The rainfall for the water is stored, and it will become the river. Now we will talk more about this river in the peninsula river. If you talk, we are having so many rivers. If you could see peninsula river, these all rivers are peninsula river. So if you could see this river, as I said before, except Narmada Tapati, okay, these two rivers, okay, Narmada Tapati, if I could say, they move from west to east. You see in the borderline, you can see here they will born and birth in the west region. Okay, this is the west now. So and go towards the east. Okay, and whereas if I talk about other rivers, okay, they born, okay, in the east and go towards the west. Almost all rivers, if I talk about. Okay, and of course this region we call Bay of Bengal. Okay, and Arabian Sea, this region. Okay, only few rivers, okay, they will get flow in the Arabian Sea, and most of the rivers get flow in the Bay of Bengal. So always remember, Bay of Bengal means beneath the Bengal. Here we are having the Bengal. Then we will continue this topic, huh? Let us continue our topic, water use. So here we will talk about what are the uses of water. We know all about this. Okay, this is the general topic, very simple lesson. Okay, and in fact, if I talk about all the social studies lessons are very simple, and these all are general topics. Okay, sometimes we think that because some people will not read. Okay, and having some problem with the English, but believe me, you need to be get angrezed, to know the English. Even with a little bit English also, you can easily understand this topic. And let us continue. So now our topic is water flowing out via surface flows and groundwater. Okay, in this topic it is telling us that how we will get the water. So as we know that we will get the water through the rainfall. Okay, we will get the water, and those water will be get stored into the ground level and become a groundwater, which we can fetch through the well, or we can get through the borewell. So now it is giving an example of a village, okay, where the water will come from the rainfall, and afterwards what happen, this water will be get stored into the underground surface, and those water later will get helpful to get the water supply to the crops. So this crops will get the water from the wells. Okay, so it is giving an example of a rainfall. Okay, so it's not always if we get the rainfall 100% water, we are not able to get store. Only some thirst will be get quenched. Only some area of the water will be going to be get stored, and most of the water will be get drained. It will be go deeper into the layer, and we cannot get control on the water. Okay, we think almost always rainfall take place. So believe me, all the rainfall will not get stored. Only some amount of the rainfall will get stored, and rest of the water will be get drain or go into the deep layers. We cannot having control on that water. Only some water which we fetch, those water will go to the agriculture. And that too is saying, sometimes the water is not a proper, water cycle is not a proper cycle. Sometimes we will get the water okay, in the excess amount, more amount, and that happen cycle on in that area, and the crops will be get lost. Now we are seeing the same thing. The price of tomatoes and all the all the vegetables are high, double, triple, because of this loss of vegetables due to the excess water. And sometimes we won't get the water at all, so we don't have any control on the rainfall. Okay, it's a natural process, but we should have something to get store all these things. So let us discuss afterwards about this topic. So now, as if now I want to tell you that so we don't have any control. So what happens in the droughts, we won't get sometime rainfall. So what happened, those area will become droughts and we lost all the vegetables and we won't get any crops at the time. So these are the problem facing in the village. Now let us discuss about the water for agriculture. Okay, as I said earlier about that, water used for domestic purpose for animal. So like how the water is essential for the agriculture, likewise in our daily life also, a human being, we also need a water for drinking and for other resources, for using for cleaning our home or our appliances. Okay, home, whatever we are having to clean our bikes. Okay, clean our everything. For cleanness we need a water. And likewise to clean in the animal also, in the village they are having the cow, buffalo, and they also mean they need to get clean, na? So they also clean, so they will also get a shower. So like yeah, so this will be get used in our day-to-day life. It's very important, we cannot live without water, we know that, right? Another thing is that water for industries, believe me, very easy topic. You do not need to go into the deep and just put a headache on your head. No need for that. It is a simple topic, very general topic. Okay, you can say from your own, but meaningful, huh? So water for industries, yes, water is also essential for industries, like how it is essential for agriculture. Without water, we cannot do agriculture. You know that water is essential, and likewise, it is very important for the industries also. Industries also may need a water in lots of quantity. They may need to get clean their industry, their products. They may need to clean their parts. They may need to get clean the iron ore. They may need to clean the chemicals and all those things. So what happened? When these industries they use the water, what happened? They put all the water, I can say that they put all the chemical in the water, the sources where they are using the water. Again, those chemicals will go to the main source of the water, and the water get polluted. And the common people like us, who use the water, will get lots of disease from the water. So the sources of drain should be get a different area. Okay, the water should be get drained in the different area, so the chemical of those industries will be get not affected to the people, common people. So this much is there in the industry. We will discuss in the next topic about the Tungabhadra river and other things. Stay tuned, huh? Stay tuned.